I've been playing video games for almost 15 years now, and throughout my years of playing, there's only one game that I consistently recommend to anyone who's interested. And normally I would hold that game in front of the camera right now, but I'm actually letting someone borrow it as I'm recording this video. That game is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. The GameCube was my first video game console, and I had played it throughout its entire lifespan. And the first game I played on that console was Wind Waker. And although I had it for such a long time, I finally beat it on a cold snow day in 4th grade.
And since then, I've always wanted to pinpoint what made the game so special and attractive to so many people. I mean, sure, it's got an excellent art style, but cel-shaded graphics aren't something I've never seen. It's got great gameplay, but you'd be a fool if you thought that this attribute is unique to Wind Waker alone. At this point, it's clear that Wind Waker's undying spirit of wonder doesn't come from any specific qualities, but rather from how you interact and relate to it. I finally want to sit down and remember exactly what clicked with me in Wind Waker, and hopefully come up with an explanation, flawed or not, that will help me crack the magic of why this GameCube experience is so meaningful to me. I think it all really starts with the opening screen, and while that might sound super cliche, Wind Waker is really something else. This is important to mention because most Zelda games, aside from Ocarina of Time, haven't tried anything particularly special with their title openings. But Wind Waker bursts onto our TV screens with a theme that invites you to experience what it has to offer. It promises excitement, and above all else, an adventure. After pressing start and naming Link, it doesn't take long for us to get past the tutorial and meet the characters that deeply influence Link's life. And as you're moving from island to island, meeting new characters and battling evil, Wind Waker's magic begins to take over. It's all about atmosphere with Wind Waker. Constant, unwavering atmosphere that reaches out of the TV set, grabs you, and pulls you into the game's world, whether you like it or not. This level of immersion is achieved because of how well every detail in the game is related. It's not the art style or items that give Wind Waker its unique character, but how well its art style and items mesh with a ghost ship or an underground medieval castle without seeming inconsistent. Wind Waker's ability to unite all these would-be unrelated topics is largely unexplainable, but it directly influences players like me to believe that no idea is beyond the realm of truth. There are countless elements I could point to describe Wind Waker even further, but I think the best way to do this is to focus on 3 elements in particular that stand out and make Wind Waker special to me. I may be picking things that you never cared about, but hopefully this approach helps you see the game the way I do. These elements to me are character development, story, and music. And instead of giving you a rundown of the elements like a review, I'm going to use one single example to discuss each element, and hopefully give you an idea of how they culminate to make Wind Waker what it is. My favorite character in Wind Waker is Daphnis No Hansen Hyrule, the King of Red Lions. Link meets the King of Red Lions on Windfall Island, and is immediately exposed to an entirely different type of treatment. On Outset Island, Link was painfully average, a boy with a frail grandma and a younger sister. He was just a kid, and was treated as such by the people who shared his home. The King of Red Lions, on the other hand, treats him like the hero he isn't even destined to be. For once in his life, Link is given a part to play in the world, despite the fact that he isn't some prophesized chosen one. The king fills him in on the terror that is besieging the world, and although you feel anxious for what's to come, you also feel like you're being treated as an equal. We're not going to get patronized and scoffed at anymore. The world needs us, and we've met someone who has motivated us to help. We were waiting for someone to take us seriously, and if it wasn't going to be the pirates, or the islanders, or even the monsters, our hopes were finally answered by our new partner. He's a reminder that no matter how uneasy we feel, or how worthless we may seem, nobody is fated to be average, or fated to be great. You have to have the drive and resourcefulness to do what you want. These types of partners are common in Zelda games, but in Wind Waker, the King of Red Lions acts as a mentor that offers guidance and confidence in a time when we are questioning what we're here for. He's not sassy like Navi or annoying like Fi. He is perhaps the most endearing companion ever featured in a Zelda game, because he acts as a physical, emotional, and literal force keeping Link and his sanity afloat. And when we play Wind Waker, we know that out there, somewhere, there is at least a fleeting reminder that we need to push onward and accomplish what we are meant to do. Next up is story, and while the main plot of Wind Waker is interesting without a doubt, the tale that always tugs at my heart is that of Makar's. Makar is a Korok from the Forest Haven, but his existence as a literal leaf isn't exactly what makes him an outcast. He's clumsy, and always fails to meet the expectations of the great Deku Tree. If that wasn't enough, Makar is also shorter and fatter than the average Korok, two characteristics that are honestly always looked down upon in real life. But this design choice was intentional. Wind Waker teaches us to forget about judging a character on appearance, because Makar is talented. He is gifted beyond belief with a powerful intuition for music, and it's with this talent that his potential in the story is fully realized. You first come across Makar when you save him from harm in the Forbidden Woods. His role in the game appears to be one similar to a damsel in distress. However, our perceptions change when Link receives the Master Sword and must awaken the sages that will return it to its former glory. Makar is one of these sages, and the process of his awakening still sends a cluster of emotions through my mind and down my face in the form of tears. Imagine this: you're sailing the seas for days, searching desperately for the spirit of the sage, and you eventually decide to sail to the Forest Haven. But this time, it is you who needs help. You land on the island and hear a faint tune coming from under the waterfall. You release your grappling hook, swing through the falls, and there he is, Makar, in a reclusive trance, doing what he loves. Not what he was meant to do, but what he wants to do. Playing his violin to become who he wants to be. You should have always known it was him. Excited, you pull out your Wind Waker, conduct the prayer, and all of a sudden, you've bonded with the spirit of an ancient sage. But more importantly, you've bonded with a friend who will finally be released from ridicule. Makar's role in your adventure has just begun. His plot is really another coming-of-age story like the one you experience through Link. But this time, it's with a clumsy Korok, who we've watched grow up and fulfill his place in the world. If the stubby little leaf from the Forest Haven can reach his goals, so can any of the people playing the game.
Now, Makar's violin sounds absolutely incredible, but Wind Waker's magical soundtrack, in my opinion, is best described by this one track that I consider to be the greatest song in video gaming history. You know the one.
I'll be honest, I really don't get it. I mean, I understand why the music is so good, and I know that Kenta Nagata, Hajime Wakai, Toru Minegishi, and the legendary Koji Kondo poured their heart and soul into this track. But no matter how many times I hear it, I am simply overwhelmed with an unexplainable excitement and desire for, I'm gonna say it, adventure. I could try to tell you that the drums develop a recurring motif that keeps me engaged. I could try to explain that D major is the perfect key for instigating a sense of confidence in the listener. And I could even point to the 140 BPM tempo that heightens our awareness as we sail across Wind Waker's vast ocean. But at the end of the day, music is a metaphysical, abstract entertainment that I could never hope to explain with words. All I can tell you is that the Great Sea theme manages to take every little thing I've mentioned thus far and stuff it into a 3-minute masterpiece that makes me want to sail and explore every little bit of content this game has to offer. And when I turn off my GameCube to be rudely thrust back into the real world, the sense of adventure carries over like soreness after a workout. It doesn't leave. It's playing in the back of my head, waiting patiently for any chance to give me the motivation I need. I'm headed off to college very soon, and up until now, I felt that I had to get something off my chest. I didn't know what it was, but I felt like I was neglecting a detail that changed my life, and now that I'm done recording this video, I'm overcome with a sense of relief. I understand that by living through Link vicariously in Wind Waker, my life was changed so drastically that I struggle to put into words how deeply the game impacted me. It taught me that to be somebody, and to achieve something in life, you have to be able to tap into the essence of what makes you unique. You could be short, fat, skinny, tall, a genius or not, but each one of us has the potential to find our place in the world like Link, or play the violin like Makar. You really can do anything you set out to achieve. Wind Waker is magical in every sense of the word, and as our channel eclipses the coveted 400 subscriber mark, I have to look back to the experience that helps me proudly and confidently say, I love video games. Thanks for watching.